Today at the Arkansas Capitol, lawmakers discussed whether the state should apply for a federal grant that supporters say could expand mental health and addiction treatment services. 5 News reporter Taylor Howard in the studio now with us on why they say this could make a huge difference. Taylor?
Yeah, among those testifying today was Fort Smith Police Chief Danny Baker, who joined mental health providers and homelessness advocates to discuss what they're seeing here. Presenters told lawmakers Arkansas has roughly 2,500 people experiencing homelessness statewide, including about 1,300 living unsheltered. They argued many of those individuals are also struggling with untreated mental illness or substance abuse.
We know that there are a lack of public state hospital beds for folks that are seriously mentally ill. We also know that there are challenges with respect to civil commitment issues.
The panel included Fort Smith Police Chief Danny Baker, who works closely with homeless service providers. He spoke about some of the challenges law enforcement sees in the community.
I've had conversations within the last year about concerns of increased number of sex offenders within the homeless population. So we're very much aware of that and do our very best to make sure that we keep track of those folks.
One recommendation would have the state apply for a federal planning grant to expand certified community behavioral health clinics. Supporters say those clinics provide mental health care, addiction treatment, crisis response, and recovery services. One provider already using the model in western Arkansas says those results speak for themselves.
And our outcomes have really been tremendous. So a 79% reduction in homelessness in these people, 70% reduction in time spent in hospitals, 58% reduction in ER visits, and a 61% of time of persons spent in treatment facilities. Those are all very high costs otherwise spend, and 84% less time in correctional facilities and arrests. So very effective.
While lawmakers discussed possible solutions at the Capitol, we wanted to see what those challenges looked like on the ground.
Are you all right, Cindy? Yeah. Okay, good.
At Hope Campus in Fort Smith, where Program Director Kristen Conley says many people who come through their doors are facing mental health or substance abuse challenges, but also a deep sense of hopelessness.
They just feel hopeless. It's not that they don't have a way, they just feel like there's not a way.
She says the people experiencing homelessness are more than statistics or policy debates.
If they could treat each piece of paper as if it's an actual human being, every rule as if it's a human being, and really think about what the ripple effect of that is going to be, I think that we may have more success.
Lawmakers did not take action today, but several expressed interest in continuing the conversation about expanding mental health and substance abuse services through these programs. Committee leaders also said members may continue discussions with panelists following today's hearing.
All right, so Taylor, who would actually make the decision now on whether Arkansas should apply for these grants?
Well, Darren, that would likely involve the state and the Department of Human Services. During today's hearing, Representative Rose asked why Arkansas isn't currently participating, and panelists said they believe the state is well positioned to pursue that federal planning grant in the future.
All right, Taylor, thanks. Appreciate that. All new tonight, days after the previous county prosecutor left for a federal role, Crawford County swore in a new top county litigator tonight. Former Washington County Chief Deputy Prosecutor Dennis Dean will take over the position. He takes over for Kevin Holmes, who is now the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Arkansas. County Prosecutor's Office says it is thankful for Holmes' service, and they're excited for the new chapter of Dean's leadership. A Missouri woman has filed a federal discrimination lawsuit against a whites-only community in North Arkansas after she says they blocked her from buying land there. The group Return to the Land owns about 160 acres in Sharp County and describes itself as a community for white, Christian, heterosexual families. Court documents say the woman was asked several questions related to race and religion on an application, and the group later told her family they were not an ideal fit. Now, the lawsuit accuses the group of violating federal and state fair housing and civil rights laws. A new Oklahoma state law will now require summer camps to complete a hazard assessment and develop an emergency action plan. Comes almost 11 months since 28 people died during that flash flood at a summer camp in Texas. It not only applies to floods, but also tornadoes and winds. Camps will then have to file the emergency plan with their local county emergency management office. With summer camp season coming up, this will not impact campers this year, giving everybody enough time to review them.
Ultimately, the camps were very supportive of these measures. They obviously want to make sure that kids are safe. I actually got some contacts from some of the parents from the campers and Camp Mystics, just sending emails and saying thank you. And so that was unexpected and emotional.
Bill now goes into effect November 1st, and all camps must develop an emergency action plan before January 1st. Fort Smith Schools planning a new specialized charter school focused on kids and military families from Singapore training at the 188th. It's going to be called the Global Innovation Academy. It will be located within Bonneville Elementary School. Courses will be focused on advanced science, technology, engineering, math programs. Studies also will focus on Singapore and the Mandarin language.
So we want to ensure we have options for them, as well as a great option for about 100 of our students to enroll in this academy. So it'll be a mixture of about 100 Fort Smith Public School students that want to access this Global Innovation Academy, and they'll learn each day with our friends from Singapore that choose our district.
Plan still needs approval from the Arkansas State Board of Education. That vote's scheduled for July. If approved, Fort Smith School says it hopes to be up and running by the fall of next year. It comes as the State Department of Ed has renewed attention to how charter schools are monitored under the Arkansas Learns Act. A state panel heard from local charter schools facing low academic performance, and Tanya Modrzewski shows us how they plan to meet new state requirements and get children back on the right track.
Low reading scores, state oversight, and new retention requirements under the Learns Act are putting added pressures on not just public schools, but charters too.
Have the serious conversation of what is working, what is not working, where are we missing the bar, because we know that the results that our students are showing right now, our students are way better than that.
We told you how districts push for third grade students' literacy rates to increase before April testing, or they'd be held back from fourth grade as part of the guidelines that's now in effect from the Learns Act. Charter schools are facing the same guidelines. Some meeting for the charter authorizing panel at the Arkansas Department of Education Thursday morning to give the panel improvement plans, updates as those schools face low ratings in order to be renewed.
We would do walkthroughs and we would have discussions again on Friday. So we were continuing the discussion sometimes twice a week with teachers. How are you improving?
Arkansas Connections Academy is an online school giving families a different option.
We are able to provide that individualized learning so we can meet the student where they are. And that gives them the opportunity to learn at their own pace while also being experiencing that high quality instructional materials that they need.
Superintendent Nicole Stevens says they were not meeting English arts, math, or graduation goals, but are working with partners and the state to make strides.
Making sure that professional development is in place to support our teachers so that then they are prepared to go in and support these students.
Also working to meet benchmarks, according to Arkansas State assessment data, some Friendship Aspire Academy campuses scoring below statewide average in reading proficiency. And Lisa Academy says it has expanded tutoring and literacy intervention efforts for younger students, particularly third graders. Saying in a statement, students have benefited from a focused approach including tutoring and parent-teacher collaboration. Stevens says students and families will always remain a priority.
Every student, every day. And we believe that wholeheartedly. We want to be here to support students and families all across Arkansas.